In today's video, I'm bringing you the best settings to use here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, but before we get into the settings, if you guys are new to the channel and enjoy what you see, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, also slap that like button if you do enjoy as well. Boys, let's get right into these settings. Basically the thing here, we're going to start off with the controller. I'm going to skip a lot of the irrelevant settings, so I'll go over obviously the main settings, of course. So the main one here, let's start off, the edit button layout. I actually play on tactical flipped. So basically that means that I that means I crouch with my R3 and prone with my R3 as well, and then I melee with my circle. It's just easier for me to do that when I drop shot or anything. I think it's really good for like a standard controller because that's what I use when I had a standard controller. And obviously you can probably use the other one, bumper jumper or stick and move. I know those are other two populars, but I stick to tactical flip. I play flip because I think the L1 and R1 have less delay than the L2 and R2. Might just be a placebo, but that's the way I like it. And then obviously it's just the same for Warzone because I don't really play Warzone. Bumper, no idea what that is. Stick layout is default. You can change with this, but I personally do not. Controller vibration, I have it off because I'm not really a big fan of all the vibration. I guess some people do say like it throws off your aim sometimes, but I think that's just them talking. But then you got the sensitivity or intensity, I should say. Obviously it's off. Jury effect, I'm pretty sure this is like a PlayStation 5 exclusive setting. I could be wrong, but this is off. This also gives you like vibrations in your L2 and R2 as it says. Now here are the main settings, or basically the big two that you should be looking at, and that is your horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity. I play on a 5.5, which I would say is pretty like basic and almost kind of normal. Honestly, anywhere between 4 to like 8 are probably a good margin. If you're like a newer player, I'd stick to like a lower setting like 4 to 5 and 6. And obviously if you're a better player, I'd probably go like 7, 8. But I stick to 5.5. I just like it that way. I like it a little bit slower. And then the ADS sensitivity multiplier is also at a 0.9. Obviously this only applies when you're aiming down sights. And again, I just think my aim assist kind of locks on a little bit better when my aim is a little bit slower, so that's why I have it on 0.9. And then you can tune all these, but I have them all at the default. Vertical aim axis, again, I'm not really sure what that is. Aim on sight, hold, I don't really know what this is. I just have that at default. Automatic sprint, I have it on automatic tac sprint, so I do not absolutely wear out my controller ASAP. So that just means like I don't have to tap down or anything. I can just press forward on the joystick and it'll run fast, or do the tactical sprint, I should say. Another one. Here's another one that I like change. The interact/reload behavior. I have mine on prioritize to interact. Basically, I switched this when I was playing Ashika Island a little bit, and I never really switched back, and then I kind of got used to just playing on this. So now I hold the reload, which is a little bit annoying sometimes, but honestly, I got used to it. And then that's it for controller. But moving on to the advanced. Now, of course, my aim assist is on. I am a console and controller noob, as they say. My aim assist type is default. I have seen people use Black Ops. I actually used Black Ops before, but there was like a few updates ago where I feel like they nerfed the Black Ops aim assist. So that's why I switched back to default. Aim response curve type is dynamic. I've seen a lot of people switch between standard and dynamic. Linear is kind of like the outlier. I don't really see that many people using it, but dynamic is definitely the way to go here in my opinion. I've been using like dynamic ever since it's like been a thing, or the aim response curve type has been a thing in Call of Duty, which I think was maybe Black Ops 4. That's all. These are default. Custom sensitivity presume, that's off. Input dead zones. Basically this is all like, I would say, all personalized to your own controller, because a lot of people like dictate these settings by like their stick drift and such. But basically like the 0.05, like the lower will, or like if it's at like 0.01, basically you could like, I don't know, blow on it and it'll move or something. Basically just like less amount of, it has, the lower the number, the less amount of force is needed to applied to move the joystick. I don't know why it's so hard to say, but yeah. And then the left stick and right stick are maxed. I just really never seen anyone like use any other number than 0.99. So then also my L2 and R2 dead zones are 0. Obviously I said like I felt like it had less delay, or tactical flipped had less delay because of the L1 and R1. But I started playing on flipped a long time ago, like in Black Ops 4, where this setting was not even a thing. Otherwise I probably would have never switched. But Yeah. Now, gyro behavior, make sure you have that turned off. Apparently, like, pro player Hugh, Optic Hugh used to have the setting on, and he used to get pooped on, and then he turned it off, and now he fries. So, looking for anything. Grounded mantle, I think this helps you slide or something. I have this off. Basically, all these automatic airborne and automatic ground mantles you want off. Nothing is worse than when you, like, go up to a barricade and basically just auto mantle when you're shooting. It's just the worst. It happened a lot in older CODs. So let's I have that. Plunging underwater. This is actually a good one. You actually want to like have this on the movement, or actually you want this plunge freely, I believe. I don't know. I think it's movement. I'm gonna stick to the movement, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a setting on this one. Optic Shots uses movement, I believe. So it just helps him. Like Zarqwa Hydroelectric, that's a big water map. Then everything else on here is pretty much looking normal. Now, moving on to the graphics, which is another major setting. My on-demand texture streaming is off. Basically, if you have this on, it'll like create more pack loss and you'll lag a little bit more. And I think I forgot when they added this in. I'm pretty sure they added this feature in Vanguard, and it did the same thing. So I have that off. World and weapon motion blur are both off because nothing is worse than seeing motion blur, honestly. It may look cool for like montages and stuff, but I'm not a montage kind of guy, so I'm not using it. Film grain, I have this off. It just makes my game a little bit more crispy, I guess you could say. Or not off, I have it at 0. The more you bump it up, the more grainy it looks, which is, I don't know. It has its like good benefits and pros or whatever. Depth of field, this is off. This also like blurs out your screen, almost like motion blur, but only when you aim in, so I have that off. Fidelity FX cast, you want this on, and then you want this next setting to be at 100, so you get basically the best settings or the best graphical settings that you can get on console. Obviously, I am on a PS5. Hey, I'm not a PC nerd, you know what I'm saying? Now 120 hertz, I'm pretty sure this kind of applies to both Xbox and PS5, or the newer Xbox. I don't even know what the newer Xbox is called, but this is, of course, is on. Obviously, you want the better hertz and the better FPS. Field of view is 110. You can, honestly, this is all personal preference. I have seen people run as low as 90 most of all, and then obviously people go up to 120. I'm not too sure if you still lose aim assist at like 120, or there's a certain margin where you get to where you start to lose aim assist, and I don't know, it's honestly good or bad, because the higher FOV you get, like the less visual recoil you get, but then when you lose aim assist, you kind of like panic and stuff. But ADS field of view, this is affected basically like as you can see on the screen, independent the zooms to its usual value, so it kind of looks a little bit goofy. And then affected, I've just ever since console had an FOV slider, I've always used affected, because I just seen like the Warzone players use it. So then the weapon field of view is also wide. This just makes your screen a little bit look wider as well. Third person, I don't play third person. First person camera movement, you want this at least. Basically, if you get grenaded or anything, like the amount your camera shakes, this will put it like at minimal as possible. Obviously, you don't want it at default, which it used to be at. That's just not fun to see your screen shaking all around. Brightness, this is all personal preference. Safe area, again. Where's the color customization at? I don't know. The last time I did one of these, I missed the color customization. I don't know where it is. I think it's an interface. But moving on to audio. I have mine on home theater. I've seen like a lot of pro players actually use home theater for some reason. I would honestly think that headphones or headphone at bass boost would be the best, but apparently not. So that's why I rock home theater. Then my master volume is at 74. Obviously, I have my own sound settings. 74 is just a good spot for me. Music volume, that's off. I do not like that. Dialogue is 50. Effects is at 50, and voice chat's 30. Voice chat is insanely loud, so that's why it's at 30. Cinematic music volume is also at 0. I'm not a big fan of the music, not gonna lie. Last words voice chat, basically that chat. This is on, of course you want that on. I don't know why I proximity chat off, but I think it's a little bit annoying in a Warzone when I do play, so that's why I have it off. There's really nothing else that is too. Actually, this reduced tinnitus sound, you want this on. It just basically like lessens the noise from like a concussion or a flash grenade, so it's not as annoying. Juggernaut music is on. Hit marker sound effects, mine is on MW. I don't know. I honestly don't hear a difference between the classic and MW. In like Cold War, you could definitely hear the difference between basically the Cold War one and then the classic one. The classic one was just like Black Ops 4 hit markers. And honestly, this one, I've changed this one back and forth multiple times, and I literally do not hear a difference. So, I think that's it there for the volumes, or for the audio. Now, here is the interface. There is color customization. There's a lot of nonsense in this one. There's really not much in here other than the color customization. Color filter, mine is on filter 2. Color filter target is both my world and interface color intensity are at 100. Basically, I just saw like a video on TikTok about this, so I just repeated it. I think these are like some of the best like color settings that you can use on console, in my opinion. My color head, or my palette, I don't even know how to say that. Custom, and then basically my enemy is the darkest red, or at least like the brightest red, I should say. And everything else, I basically left the same. I've seen people use some whack colors on this, and I just don't understand why. I just left mine at default because blue is good, green is good, red is bad. I don't know. That's just the way I understand. There's really, I think okay, this is a decent setting here. The minimap shape, I have mine at square. I think it just shows more of the minimap, as you can see in like the top left, or not in the top left, but in the top right. Obviously, you see the circle one or the round one, and it just seems like it cuts off a little bit more, and then like the square just shows up like a little bit more. So that's what I like. Trying to think about anything else. The center dot, I have this on. A lot of people don't actually like. No, they don't like the. I forgot what it's called. They don't like the crosshairs. I have my crosshairs on. Obviously, you can turn them off here. For some reason, people don't like the crosshairs. I don't know why, but here's also another setting. Like I said, the center dot. This is on, but then some people actually use the largest one, so it like pinpoints are actually. I tried it once, but I did not like it at all. So, and then my telemetry, server latency, packet loss is on. Those are basically like the two main like connection base settings that you want to be based off of. Server latency should always be on, like that'll show your ping. And the packet loss will show you like when you spike and stuff. I don't really think you need a clock or a connection meter on. And then that's about it. The inverted flash. Some people do turn this on to where like when you get flash, you'll just like make the screen dark. So obviously if you're playing like a dark room or something, I'd probably turn this on. But honestly, I don't think the flashes are really that bad, but some people do. But yeah, that is the best MW2 settings here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm sorry I'm a little bit of a rambler. I'm not the usual typical like rambler style videos. I do like my gameplay style videos where I do my live comms. But sometimes you just got to give out some settings to you folks. So, hope you guys enjoy. If you guys did enjoy, again, make sure you guys slap like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, peace.